Well, here we are. It's PK here with Out of the Box, living out of the box, remember. I want to give a comment. I don't do too much talking about this Bitcoin. And the name of this episode is, why is trading Bitcoin so difficult to trade? Now, especially now, we're in that correction. It seems to be dropping. Where's the next buying opportunity? But let me just give you just a short history in that Bitcoin for me as a trader of 35 years. The question is, did PK catch it? The answer is no. And of course, I'm furious about it. Being a futures trader, I was not interested in before Coinbase and I could never imagine sending money to these companies years ago. And first there's the risk of could Bitcoin go up, but then there's the risk of them taking off with your money. And it's never going to happen to me, so I feel much safer sending my money to a clearing firm and waiting for the future. So what happened was, when the Bitcoin came out and the CME launched the Bitcoin futures contract, they all thought it was going to be the next big thing, kind of like the stock index futures, because there was such incredible interest between the retail buyers around the world, like the gold and silver. But the reality was, it turned out to be a bomb. It actually still is on the futures. And the size of the Bitcoin futures is 5 Bitcoins. And I think when it came out, the Bitcoin is maybe 10,000 or 12,000. It wasn't a big contract size, 50, 60, 70,000. And usually on the futures contract, the margins are typically 10% down. So I was very excited. I thought, boy, the Bitcoin's starting to move. And, one of the reasons it's difficult to trade, the main reason, forget the futures contract, you got two reasons, but the number one reason, extreme volatility. And this makes it hard to trade because it moves so big. There's such big swings. But on the other hand, this way, all traders, we want this big volatility. It's where the money is made. If it's crawling, you got to hold it, and it takes forever. So there's like a balance between the volatility, and this is where the experience comes in. Especially if you're trading with leverage. Now, for you, buying the outright and buying it from Coinbase or any of these other companies, you don't really have that problem because you're paying full price for the stock. But anyway, so when the Bitcoin futures came out, immediately the problem was they wanted the margin. They had raised the margin right away in the Bitcoin, and the volume was maybe 1,000 contracts a day, and the spread was $80. And this is, it means you're out $400 each way. Doing 5, you're already minus 800 going into it. So this to me is untradeable. It's like trading a penny stock maybe, or some low volume stock with a big spread. You can't protect yourself to the downside. It's not so easy to get out. The second big problem with the Bitcoin, what makes Bitcoin very difficult to trade, it's open over the weekend. This is wrong. Nothing else is open over the weekend, but that Bitcoin trades over the weekend. And you want to talk about manipulation and all those things they talk about in the gold and silver manipulation. Believe me, I think this Bitcoin, in my opinion, is much more manipulated than the gold and silver because of this being open over the weekend, because it's unregulated. So the bottom line is, PK, I missed the whole run-up. I'm not in. And now, let me tell you what they did. Now, because of the volatility, as the price got to 20,000, where'd it go? To 60,000 in the Bitcoin. So now, say the price is 50,000, and you're trading the contract size 5 Bitcoins. So you're trading 250,000 with the Bitcoins. This is a pretty big contract, But you know what the problem is? The exchange went 50% down. This is 125,000. Now it is tradable. The volume average volume is about 10,000 contracts a day. As more and more of the community, the Wall Street community, the series, they're in it, but they're still. But who's going to put 50%? That kills the whole purpose. The whole purpose of going to the futures market is for the leverage. This is the only reason. Or you might as well buy the outright. And so for me, okay, it kills me to see this volatility because as a trader, across the board, I could have really made some great money on both directions, up and down this Bitcoin. We had these huge moves, and quickly too. But when they have the margins so high, it became untradeable for me for that reason. Why should I put up so much money? That's one of the reasons I don't trade stocks. There's no leverage. Oh, that's why the stock index futures are 10 times better. Unless you get lucky or you bought, what was the GameStop or things like this that moved. But this is a once in a lifetime thing. Maybe there'll be others. We'll see. They have a lot of buying power. So anyway, to kind of summarize this with the Bitcoin, and again, I'll just summarize the two reasons. One, extreme volatility, which is always hard. This is hard for volatility. When things get really wild, this makes trading hard to anything. GameStop, perfect example. Anything gets really wild, or even when the market came crashing down, and during the virus, March and April, when it get, we want volatility, but up to a point. When it gets so wild, the risk becomes, you could be a minute early, and be right, but you're way out when you're dealing with leverage. So that plus, number two, trading over the weekend. They got to stop this. This is wrong. There's so many games are being played, over the weekend. They don't have the volume. It doesn't take, they call these whales like they do in Las Vegas. They use that same term. They can move that Bitcoin so easily up and down, purposely. And so this to me is really manipulation in a really big way. So I'm not in the Bitcoin, but for you who are trading the Bitcoin, which is a lot of you in the cryptocurrency market, the question is, what now? What I see, it's down 45,000. I put up in my thumbnail the daily chart, the weekly chart. Of course, I'm never going to throw out a number because I think it's wrong. It's just a guess. But I think, no question, this is not the place to be trying to buy it. Remember, it's my opinion. If I was able to trade the futures contract now, I'd still be a seller looking to go short. Even at 45,000, to me, it looks like we need more time to develop. It looks like we're really going to take, finally, that correction. We've had no correction, since the last time from 20 to 60,000, and it became so strong. So, since I know most of your long-term Bitcoin holders or crypto holders, which you should be. I like that strategy. The question is, where do you step in and buy it? And for me, here at 45,000. It's too soon. Maybe if it goes sideways, that's what I look at the time. So to me, we need a lot more time to pass before it looks buyable. This is how I look at it. And so that's it. That's all I want to tell you. Why is Bitcoin difficult to trade? I hope I answered your question. If I didn't, you can always write me, and I'll try to maybe give you if you have any question. But to me, it's that simple. So anyway, this PK with are out of the box about Bitcoin. Why is it difficult to trade? And where's it going to go from here? I think bottom line, we're going lower overall. I can't tell you the number, but lower. I don't need to know the number. I just need to know the direction. And right now it looks lower. The data looks like we're in a downtrend. The weekly looks like it could go lower. So why should I play with it here? If I was even able to do it, I would not be a buyer here. This PK with another episode of Out of the Box. And remember, just don't think out of the box. Live out of the box. Make up your own mind. Don't listen to anybody. You don't even listen to me. I'm just trying to give you some tips. You make your own mind up. Wish everyone a good day. Let's all make some money. Ciao, everybody.